You're the love coach. What was love like for yourself?
A question to ask them. Oh, where did you go for university? What friends do you have? Oh, you're like, whoa. Just start with what you're drinking. Sunny, I sit here today as a transformed man
Because of
ayahuasca.
Wow.
Yes.
So, love at first sight, a real thing, son.
When we are not feeling safe, our brain, our prefrontal cortex, closes and the activity reduces when we're not feeling safe. And that's responsible for building new relationships, trust, and building love. Yeah?
I ended up being the conjure that fell for one of his cousins. I could not stop looking, and I was talking to my mates, we were having a laugh, and I just kept constantly looking over to her. And I was just like, damn, I want that to be the woman I marry.
Oh, wow.
Do you know?
I believe it is.
Okay, we need to stop the podcast right there. Sunny, welcome to the Appauling Podcast.
Well, thank you for having me, Sunny.
Man, it's a pleasure. Of all the DMs that I get, of all the little messages, all the comments, even people just at work, when they ask me, they always say, can you bring in someone that knows what they're talking about in terms of just how do I get a woman? I will say, like, what do you want me to do? And then when I came across yourself, obviously we know each other a little bit at university and things. And so when I saw that, I was like, Son has to come on this and save the population. Give us some gems, man. Tell us what's going on. So before we start, what is it you specifically do?
So I specifically help singles find love. And by doing that, I'm helping them overcome fear, the blocks that they have, the pain that they have, so that they can open up to the right love. Because anyone can find love. Anyone can go on a date with anyone. And this is how they find toxic partners or the wrong partners. But specifically, we help them find the right love.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Let's get into it. How do you specifically guide them towards that?
So when we're closed and we're experiencing fear, hurt, and pain, and you know, in the Indian culture, it's such a big thing of shame. Shut them. Oh no, they do this because they shut them. Watch out. Everything, right?
Everything is shame.
Yeah. Growing up, it's shame. You're not married yet? Shame. You're not got kids yet? Shame. You're not got a degree? Shame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because of that shame that we fear so much, we also get trapped in that shame because we fear it. It traps us within it. And then it keeps us open for the wrong relationship, an abuser, a toxic relationship. Because we're so stuck in shame, do we want a divorce or to leave that relationship? Do we want this shame to be broadcasted that I showed everyone my partner and now we're going to end it? No, that's more shame. So instead, we'll rather be stuck in a poor relationship than create a healthy one. And creating a healthy one isn't from fear, from shame. It's about that openness, that love, feeling confident that you can walk out of a relationship, feeling confident that you're still loved, even if that relationship didn't work out. And that's when you create the right relationship. And this is what we help them do.
That's such a great insight, because one would assume the only thing to it is to go out and find a girl. No one thinks, hang on a second, let me sort me out first. So no one really reflects upon themselves and thinks, hang on, there's some things I need to do here to sort myself out first, get myself in the right mindset to then find the right person. That's beautiful.
And that's exactly why we say the right love. Because anyone can go find a relationship, and that's true. But to really find that beautiful love, that long-lasting one, like divorce rates are so high right now, over 50% divorce rates have been. But on the other side of that, marriage rates are low. So people aren't getting married and then people are divorcing more. And the other flip side is Indians and South Asians. There's so many hidden divorces. So many parents that sleep in the other room. So many parents that don't look at each other, but they just get on with life.
Because divorce is such a taboo. Yeah.
Because of the taboo again. They don't want to be shamed again. So they live in it.
Hidden divorcee is such a real and prevalent thing. I completely forgot about that even existing.
Yeah.
But that's so true. And again, they would rather just live in a horrible, toxic environment than have that, go out there and say, look, we got a divorce. And this is such a shame. So you're sorting this situation out, because you're also doing those amazing Love Fest single events. That are just taking over. And whenever I see you doing another one, I always look at my wife. I always say to her, we don't need to go to one of these, obviously, because we found each other. But man, how fun does that look? So tell me about that. How did that start?
It was actually from a client. So I was working with a client for about 6 months on coaching, and we'll keep on putting ourselves out there. She's saying, I'm ready, Sunny. I'm ready for love. But obviously I'm not on her dating apps. I don't know what's really going on, but she's saying she's attracting the wrong one. So I goes, look, fine, I'm going to fix this problem. I'm going to arrange a dating event for you so I can see what's actually happening. And then that was it. We arranged a small event. It was about 60 people. She showed up and I found out all of her blocks. She wasn't making effort. She wasn't talking to people. She wasn't really ready for love. And then from there, it just blew up on social media. Yeah. Got like 100,000 views. So many people was like, I want this, I want this. And this was like 3.5 years ago, Sonny. This is such a long time ago. And then from there, we've just been like progressing it more and more. We did 3 events. That was terrible. Oh my God.
Really?
The quality of people that were coming to that were just rude, obnoxious, doing drugs. It was crazy, right? It wasn't the right people that wanted love. So we started charging better. We started understanding the model, started adding the workshop into the event, and now we're getting beautiful results.
Oh, that's amazing. Because you could easily just hire a hall and you can say, how about it? Anyone that wants to come, just come. I'm making my money. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you're not. You're actually trying to filter through people that are going to actually add value to people that are looking for love. That's beautiful. That is. Again, you're still going to find some issues even in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what are like some common things that people are making mistakes on? Like, let's say, okay, they've invested in it. You know what I mean? They've finally made the time. They're looking great. They're doing the best they think they can do.
Yeah.
What would you say to really give them that edge? What are the things they should do?
Absolutely. So the 3 main areas to focus on there is, like you said, the outside. So it's a fresh haircut, the fresh outfit plays a big part into it.
Okay.
Like a huge part. Second part is actually the internal. So it's about working the mind and going, you know, I'm ready for a relationship. I want to create this beautiful relationship, long-term relationship. Again, going back to that last point, if we've seen hidden divorces or our friend's been through a divorce, in our mind, we're playing a story that goes, we might end up in a divorce. So then really, you're not going to put all of your effort into that connection or be really open to find love. So, because you're replaying the wrong story. So they've got to start priming their brain for, you know what, how would this relationship be? What would it be like? Would we be connecting together? Start visualizing what dates would we go on? How would the engagement be? How would they fit into the family? Get excited for that. That's the internal. The third part is the one that's missed so much. It's just communication.
That is so key. You'd think it was just so obvious, but it's not. Like you and me, we don't drink.
Yeah.
However, as the designated driver, and the guy who's always just observing everything, the amount of times I've seen guys who, like my friends, good-looking guys, and I've seen a girl, the little sparks there, and I've said to them like constantly, look, mate, she's looking at you, she's interested, just go there, you can't mess this up.
Yeah.
But he won't take a step until he's had 2 shots. And I always say to him, don't do it, because when you do, you're going to start slurring your words. You're not going to be, don't do it, but he won't. So they'll get drunk, and when they go there, they'll come back and like, she's gay, bro.
Yeah.
She's not into men, bro. I don't think that's the problem.
You missed your opportunity, all right?
So like, why have you noticed? Is that more of an up and abundant thing? Asian men in particular need a drink before they can speak to, or communication. What would you say?
I think it is scary out there in the normal world of just going up to people. And I know there's a lot of pickup work and there's a lot of like dating mindset stuff where it's like, just go talk to a stranger. But equally, I do find that scary. Even vulnerability myself. I've tried to do interviews with people out in the streets, and I'm quite a confident guy. But even for me to first go approach them, I find it a bit scary.
Okay.
Are they going to say to me, no, I don't want to talk to you? All these different things come up in my mind. Good thing about the Love Fest events and the events that we do, we prime everyone to say, you're single, they're single, have a conversation. So every single person at the event is open to a conversation. It is like the safest place to just say, hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Tell me more about you. These simple conversations. And I think what many people do is they try and create the most complicated answer to try and, or complicated question to ask them. Oh, where did you go for university? What friends do you have? Oh, you're like, whoa. Just start with what you're drinking.
That's such good advice. Yeah, just keep it nice and simple and gradually build the conversation up.
Yeah.
Okay. What should you not do in a conversation?
Talk about your ex. Oh my God. Do not talk about your ex-partner. Do not say my ex is a psycho. That's why she's an ex.
And have you actually experienced that?
I get feedback from people that go, "Oh, it was a nice conversation, but he or she just isn't ready." They were talking about their ex the whole time. I'm like, what the heck is going on? How is this just coming out their mouth?
That is absolute madness that people would actually go. But I would imagine they're not planned that. It's just what's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just what I mean. We got to be. I think I've given this some thought back in the day, and we got to be a little bit fair to Asians, Indians in particular, because everyone else in the world is going through the same thing, trying to find a partner, etc. However, nowhere has it been so predominantly pre-arranged marriage. Our culture has been, I think it's fair to say, almost 99% of India at one point was pre-arranged marriages.
Yeah.
We've never built up that we've never evolved that muscle to talk to women. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So look how easy it was. We're going to get elders in our generation that are going to look upon us and say, you know what, you guys can't even get yourself a woman. I was married with 3 kids by the time I was your age. But what's the problem? You guys didn't have to deal with the things we have to deal with. Your mom and dad had prearranged your stuff. Done. All you have to do is show up and you're going to get a partner. Yeah. We have to work, look our best, and go and then find a partner if we're not going to go prearranged. So we got to cut some slack and give us some credit here. We're doing our best.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with that. You know, the family was arranging it. The family input was so important. And all them beautiful things that come from that. So yeah, you're spot on. I think now, though, it's about evolving. You know, we're a generation of evolving from our parents. And I think it's so important for us to build these skills, to build that happier relationship, you know, that more healthy relationship, because we're different to how our parents grew up with the arranged marriages, but also within India and also within fear. Unfortunately, like my auntie, my mum, they came to this country and had fear because they had to leave India, Punjab, because of everything that was happening. And that fear makes them just want to reproduce. They don't want to create like the healthiest, most loving relationship because that's not their top agenda. It's that, how can we reproduce? How can we survive?
Yeah.
We're a different breed. We're talking about thriving. We're in a job that isn't good. We're leaving it.
Yeah.
We're creating podcasts. We're creating a better life.
100%.
Right?
100%. Like my main aim for this podcast is exactly what you said. And like I try to like say, I want to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
That's very important. However, I also want to talk about mental wealth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do we give people not just, you know, look out for this, look out for that, but how do we make people excel, make them better? Do you know what I mean? What can we do? And that's where when I saw your stuff, I was like, man, this guy has to come on here. Do you know what I mean? Because also you've written a book. And that's huge. With everything that you got going on, you had time to write a book. I feel lazy when I look at how much stuff you got going on. So what's your book called?
It's called Awaken the Love Within. And thank you.
How did that start?
How did it start? It started on the vision board, right? It started on the vision board, but I was coaching. So I've been coaching now for about 10 years. I started qualifying 10 years ago with great mentors like Tony Robbins, some really, really elites in the industry. And our life transformed. Me and my wife's life absolutely transformed. So I started qualifying, started coaching people one-on-one. And at that point, I couldn't carry on working with people one-on-one because I had more things to do. So I had to put it into a book. And then that's where I took about 3 months out. And you know what, Sunny, it was crazy. I took 3 months out, but the biggest block was actually committing 2 days in a hotel room where I was going to do 90% of the book. So I planned it. I told my wife, I told my family, look, 2 days, I'm away, phone's off, I'm writing this book. All these internal blocks came up. You're not good enough for the book. No one's going to read it. Oh, who do you think you are? You're selfish. All of these internal blocks came up. And I remember my wife was driving me to the hotel, so I didn't drive off after. I started saying to her, you know what? Wife, I'm being inconsiderate. I'm being selfish. I'm not going to the hotel. I'm going to cancel. So, what are you on about? You've already planned this, Sonny. But it's crazy how these internal blocks came up. And then I got to the hotel and then I started to voice record all of my book and I started to get it down.
That is amazing.
Produce it.
That is amazing. So like what kind of feedback have you had from your book?
Oh, you know, it's been beautiful.
It is.
It's really helped people to really feel comfortable and understand themselves more. understand the attachment styles, understand the energy to put into love and relationships, and just give them a nice guidance with practical tools to start talking, to start working on themselves, start building who they are. It's been really beautiful.
I haven't read the book yet, but I'm going to read the book. Where can I get it?
Amazon, yeah? Amazon lawyers.
Brilliant. Absolutely amazing. So again, you've got your Love Fest, which are just amazing. Such a great idea as well. And to go further into it, you're not only just doing a room full of people and saying, go for it. You're trying to create value and trying to give them the right mindset to go in and find good, proper love. Then you got the book. So if you don't go to the Love Fest, you got the book that's there, which is everyone's Bible, I'll be honest with you, from the way you described it. And I read a little bit about it on your post that you put up on your socials. And I was like, man, if this book's as good as the description, it's so vital for everyone. And then thirdly, which probably not lastly, but thirdly, you're also doing the retreats.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Now tell people, what is this?
Oh, Sunny, the retreats. Oh my God. So the retreats is something powerful. It's what we're all about, actually. It's about creating sacred spaces for people to become more of themselves. Because in this world, there's so much fear, there's so much doubts, there's so much worries. You know, a lot of my clients come from London. And walking through London, you know, you can get attacked. You see these videos on people's phone getting robbed. You see people on the tube getting abused. It's really, really difficult where people have to close themselves off. They have to be mindful. They have to guard themselves. So what we're doing at all of these things, especially the retreat, is this sacred space where they can actually come in, be more of themselves. It's a matchmaking process. So we're matchmaking one person with 2 or 3 matches. So you got 2 or 3 potentials there. And each person has that within this age range. And then as the time goes on, over the 2 days, they're being more of themselves. They're connecting more beautifully. They're forming them beautiful relationships. At this one, we just did, we had over 50% of the people start to form couples. Wow. It's still really early, but over 50%.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So then as time progresses, you'll really find out who connected and who. That's amazing.
Well, because it's 2 days together. They've seen them in the morning. They've seen them in the evening. They've seen them go sleep. They've seen how they handle different situations like breath work. Breath work's really intense. And you really strip down your ego. You strip down who you are.
When you say breath work, so you're actually running them through exercises and making them do different things like workshopy type things.
That's correct, yeah.
So it's not just like a big brother, you just sit around in a house and you're actually trying to get them to do positive things.
Yeah.
So breath work is one of them.
Yeah, breath work's such a huge part into it, actually. We do some coaching beforehand, some breath work. It's called a rebirthing breath work. Is what I specialize in. And it allows them to go so deep over the 60 to 90-minute breath work that allows them to let go of the ego, to let go of all of the things that are stopping them from love, strip that down so that then they could be more themselves. And, you know, we had people crying, we had people screaming.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was beautiful. And then afterwards, everyone had food, so they enjoyed some good food. And then they went over to the pool and started like the dating challenges, started connecting, but a real connection.
That sounds brilliant. That does.
Yeah.
I want to touch upon that. We'll come back to the retreats, but I want to talk about this breath work. I've heard you can actually have a slight trip from breathing. Is that true?
Yeah.
Really? So how does that work?
So the way it does.
What you're actually doing with breath work now, from an idiot's point of view, I'm just thinking you're breathing intensely.
Yeah.
And that's it. Do you know what I mean? But like, obviously there's got to be so much more to it. So what are the benefits to it and how does it work?
Beautiful. So a lot of the benefits is it bypasses your conscious mind. So our thinking brain. So as we continue breathing in a pattern and we're breathing deep, the science behind it is like it's oxygenating your body and your cells, which helps it heal. But because you're breathing in a pattern and you create the environment with music, we have a shamanic drum, we had a sound healer there. So you're taking your senses away. And as we're going deeper within ourselves with blindfolds on as well, we're going deeper within who we are. We're going deep into our subconscious. And a lot of the people saw dead people, family members that have passed. And the gift of that is it's healing their heart. Perhaps they had that block and that pain inside of their heart of somebody that passed away. And as they go deep into their subconscious, they go, wow, that family member that passed away, I never got to say goodbye to them. I never got to relive that memory with them. And because of that, And this beautiful woman, she actually saw her father driving it. And it connected so deep with her. But that connection with her heart, with her father that passed, could have been the reason why she wasn't finding love, because she didn't want to open her heart because she was scared. As she opened it, she saw her dad, she connected with herself, she went through it, she released, she had some tears come out. After that, her heart was opening.
Oh, that's powerful.
That's when that right love comes in.
That is powerful. That is really powerful. Like, I'm a man of science.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I believe I'm not enough for God. Sometimes I feel like that. Like, I feel I'm not pure enough, if that makes any sense at all. Like, when we look at spiritual and we think things like that, I sometimes feel like before we even think about that side of things, before I even consider that there is anything out there, I think I should fix me to become worthy of a God.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love when you explain it that way, in terms of like, how does it work? If you would have just said to me, we do some breathing and this is what they experience, in my mind, firstly, I'd be like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But now you explain it, you're actually scientifically explaining it, you're actually removing other senses. So they're forced to then just open up that one sense. And that sounds so powerful, that does.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful journey.
Are you quite spiritual yourself?
Recently, yeah. There was actually a really beautiful thing that happened in my life.
Okay.
So for a large time, I went away from God. I don't know what happened, but just between the age of 10, I just left God. God's name just disappeared from my mind. It was crazy. From there, I formed this big ego. And you met me at university. Actually, at university, I had a bit of an ego as well. Right?
I think we all did.
Yeah. I had a bit of a crazy one, especially after a couple of drinks, right? And I remember there was a sense of, it has to be me. I have to go create this. I have to go do this. It was almost this force within me. That was what I used to always imagine. And this ego carried on building all the way until I got to like 25, 26, 27. And I actually got ill. Yeah. I got ill. I had a thyroid problem, which led to a minor stroke.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think my body just had too much tension. I was just holding too much, and I was trying to form a relationship. I was trying to be good at work. I was trying to just get on with life and everything. I think it was just too much tension. My body just went into this minor stroke, and I don't know what happened. It was crazy. From there, I changed my diet, did other things. But the partner I met, it was an amazing story around that. Her family is Amrit.
Yeah. Okay.
And as we got engaged and we started meeting each other, first I was a bit like, whoa, they're a bit religious. What's going on here? Right? But what I saw was how accepting, how loving they were. And I thought, this is actually how religion is. And it started to open my mind up. Started to see them in a different way. I started seeing religion a different way. And when we got to the wedding day, we got to the wedding hall in the Gurdwara temple, and my mum goes, Sunny, 30 years ago, I brought that gold ornament that's in this temple hall with the prayer for my kids to do well.
That's crazy.
We moved to Nottingham. I met my wife in Leicester. We got married in Leicester. And when my mum was a single parent growing up, we had no money. And my mum would always go to that temple, and they'll feed us. The langar was there. And we'd eat there when we was little. And that gift my mum got was like full circle.
That's beautiful, that is.
Yeah.
How did you meet your partner? So like, when I go to the gym, for example, if I see a personal trainer and he's not in shape, I don't want to know. I'm terrible. Yeah, like, no, you got to be in shape to train me. As simple as, you know what I mean? I want you to practice what you preach, yeah? Now, you're the love coach. So having a podcast and being a host gives you some sort of little bit of authority to kind of poke and ask the questions that everyone's kind of wondering. So what was love like for yourself? Was it all clean sailing, or did you have a few speed ups?
Yeah, so I remember just before I met my wife, Sunny, and I was asking, I was like, you know what, I'm ready for love now. I'm ready for a relationship. My first girlfriend, she cheated on me. You know what?
Thing that could have happened to you.
Best thing that happened. I was a puppy dog. I was so naive, right? She cheated on me, which is great. Yeah, it taught me to be a bit of a player, to be a bit ruder to women. So I was like, I'm not being that nice anymore. And that worked for a bit.
Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm ready for love. And then my wife came into my life. And my God, I wasn't ready.
Really?
Whenever we start to open up to love, I'd push her away. I'd like do things. I'd talk to other women. I would literally push her away. It was crazy, right? And would argue, would fight. And it was the same the other way around. She wasn't as ready either. And because of that, we both created this toxic relationship because there was so much love, but we just wasn't ready to receive it. We wasn't open enough to receive it. And I think it was 10 months on. I was like, we can't go on like this. I literally can't go on like this. We're talking to other people. We're trying to make it work. It's just not good enough. I went through a depression at that time because my mind was all over the place. My family were like really scared that she was pulling me into a different direction. As a good Indian boy, I wanted to please my family. And they were just worried that she was a bit too controlling and strong. I'm the youngest in my family. So I was very humble with my family and my mom and my brother.
Okay.
But then they saw this other woman controlling me and they saw this craziness happening. I'm like, no, she's a good person. But they couldn't see that because they were worried about me. So they started to become stronger with me and start controlling me. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like that. What the hell do I do? I had to wake up. I had to become a leader. It was the best thing that happened again. And this is where I started to invest in Tony Robbins and going to his live events. We both went. And we started taking accountability for how we're showing up in the relationship. Started taking accountability for life, how we're showing up every day, the energy we're putting into it. We started to commit. How do we want to be? We'll do the silly thing. It's so funny. We'll draw a line in the ground, like a imaginary line. Do you want to carry on arguing today? Or do you want to have a good date? It was all that fear that was built up in both of us. Fear to be hurt again. Both of us come from a single parent background. But I see this so much with singles. When they don't have an emotionally strong support as a male or female, unfortunately, they find them same barriers to not let love in. Even if they have parents, but if they're not emotionally available, it's something that they stop it. They resist from that love. That's exactly what we was doing. So we'll draw the line in the ground and go, come on, let's have a good date. We'll step over it and we'll just forget about whatever the bicker was. And since then, we've been working on improving our relationship. And, I'm so proud of the beautiful relationship that we have now. We're 12 years in, been married for 6 years, and it's my best friend, love of my life, my soulmate. And we just live life in joy and love and happiness together.
This is what I wanted to hear. Okay?
Yeah.
It don't matter what I want, but this is what I wanted to hear, because what I didn't want to hear a little bit, I would have said to you, that's great, no matter what you said. But what I didn't kind of want was you to just say, I had a great relationship. And then one day I decided I want everyone to have a great relationship. And I decided to become a love coach. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't decide to become a love coach. You became one. You had to go through all the trials and tribulations. And then you did the Tony Robinson's that's no small deal. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you went to the source of motivation and you really worked from the ground up. And then now whatever you say, it's got some weight to it now because you've experienced it.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. That's quite powerful to have that background. So again, it's easy to say it. You know what I mean? It's easy to say I'm a love coach. Do you know what I mean? Listen to me.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, hang on a second, but what have you gone through and what are you going through?
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that you're in the thick of it and you've come out on a higher end and you want everyone else to go through the same thing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a mission. We saw what it was like when we was in this bad place, and it was dark, it was cloudy.
How did you meet?
So we met at work.
Ah.
Yeah, so I saw her at work, and it was funny, Sunny. It was Fish and Chip Friday, and I was like, this woman is beautiful. I need to speak to this woman. And I put my fish and chips down. I remember I chose her over the fish and chips.
In fire if she made you put your fish and chips down.
I know. I was like, this is good. And by the way, I was on this training, so there's like 20 people right there with me. And I'm getting up, and they're like, what is this boy doing? And I see an opportunity where she's sitting there, and I go over to her and talk. And it's just like, if you ask her, she'll go, who's this weirdo coming to talk to me, right?
Who smells like vinegar?
Yeah, exactly. And we start talking, and I try and find a commonality with her. She's giving me nothing. I'm like, oh, you work here, do you? She's like, yeah, obviously. I'm like, oh, what else do I ask? Are you Indian? Yeah, Like, what else? Are you enjoying your meal? Got to a point where I was like, how do you get to work? And she goes, I catch the bus. I had my car in the car park. I know it started on a lie. But I guess I also catch the bus.
Yes, bro. You got to do these things.
I had to create an opportunity.
Yeah, because she would never have come back with you in the car.
No way.
You thought, you know what, I'll just tell her I also catch the bus. So was that to just get a little bit of time with her?
I thought, you know what, if I can spend a bit of time with her and we can see if we can form a bit of a relationship.
Legend.
Let's see, yeah. So that's what I thought as well, right? Okay. So I was like, what bus you wearing? She's like, 40. I'm like, I'm on the 40 as well.
40 as well?
What's the chances of that, eh? Wow, God. And then I goes, so shall we catch it tonight? So she goes, sure, in like a weird, who's this guy way?
Who I've never seen on the 40 bus ever. Yeah.
So I goes, okay, tonight, 5 o'clock, we'll meet, we'll catch it together. So, you know, I'm being good. I get there early, 4:30, I'm there, nice and fresh, ready. People start leaving from the reception. Okay, 5 o'clock, nothing. 5:15,
oh,
nothing. 5:30, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is too much. But, you know, she might have been in the meeting, you know?
Yeah. That's what happened.
The lady meeting.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. 6 o'clock, still, you know, meeting, you know?
Oh.
6:30, back to my desk, back in the car. I'm fuming, Sunny. I'm like, this pretty girl, who the hell does she think she is, right? Just because you're good looking doesn't mean you can stand someone up, right?
You made me miss my fish and chips.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you?
I got home, I'm fuming still, right? I couldn't let it go. I see her the next day in the canteen. I'm there at the till and I'm like, I'm not talking to her. I see her laughing. In my head, she's laughing at me. I don't know what she's laughing at, but she's laughing loud. I'm like, no way am I talking to this woman. I carry on walking. There's a little whisper went in my ear. I don't know what it was, but I just acted on it. I just went over to her. Again, I started on another lie. I said, I forgot to meet you yesterday. And she's like, so did I.
Oh, wow. You could have been a prick, really. And you could have been like, oh, too good to show up. But you didn't. You told another lie.
I told another lie. Yeah.
Well done. You were persistent.
I know. I don't know where it came from. But because of that, she laughed. I was like laughing at her. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I was like, so tonight? And it's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, maybe exchange numbers in case we don't show up.
In case one of us waits till 6:30.
Yeah. Just in case I'm in a meeting. You know, I might be in a meeting all day. And then we exchanged numbers, jumped on the bus. I was working my magic. I was grafting. I was trying to find every conversation I could find. I was trying to communicate everything I could say to her. And then I was like, let's go for a coffee. She's like, no, I'm okay. I'm like, let's go for a coffee. She's like, no, I'm okay. Went for a drink instead. And then went for a drink. And actually, it was funny. She was really reserved and closed still. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is the right woman for me. But get back home again, get back to my car, drive back home and playing FIFA with my brother. And I'm like, this girl, I don't know. You know these pretty girls? Well, I'm not sure about them, you know, a bit stuck up. She texts me, Sunny. And she goes, I'm sorry if I was a bit closed off today, but I'm just a bit reserved when you first meet me. After you get to know me, I really open up. It was because of that text that I gave it another shot. Because it was already second. I already got stood up. She was boring afterwards. I was like, whatever. But that text made me go, okay, there's something in this.
Yeah. So she made it work as well. It wasn't just you.
Yeah. She showed me a bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, not much.
Just a little dangle.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in.
Shut up, bro. You don't know anything.
Yeah.
Carry on playing FIFA.
Guess what? My car's working now, girl.
That's beautiful, man. I like that. So it wasn't clean sailing, man.
No. I'd love to know about you and your partner. How did you meet?
Mine. You don't want to know about mine.
No, come on. Spill the beans.
Mine. Okay, so not a lot of people know this, actually, that Amin and my partner are cousin, brother and sister. So how it happened was my mate, someone I was really close with back in the day, he was getting married. And I showed up. We're outside the house now, okay? Yeah. And there's about 4 or 5 of us. The lads are together. And although we'd often go to each other's houses, we had never all together gone to anyone's house as a group. So I don't know what it was. I kind of gave it the, I'm I'm the righteous one here. So I told them all. I said, listen, lads, all the women in there are off limits, okay? Because that's his family, that is, yeah? So no one looks at it. And they all the lads are looking at me like, all right, yeah, give it a rest. But I was like, look, just make sure that. And then even when my mate came to the door, I was like, don't worry about it. I've told all these animals, yeah, don't even look at any of your sisters and that. And then he was like, yeah, okay, whatever, walk in. And then I ended up being the conjure that fell for one of his cousins. So I just seen her. And then what actually got me compelled to her is like, we're in a wedding week situation now.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's wearing their nice suits and, everyone's doing their thing. And then she was just in the corner eating chole bhature. Okay. But I don't know what it was about the way she was eating them. Yeah, she was devouring them. Yeah, she executed those chole bhature. Like, it was a massacre of chole everywhere. And then I could not stop looking. And I was talking to my mates, we were having a laugh, and I just kept constantly looking over to her. And I was just like, damn, I want that to be the woman I marry. Oh, wow. Do you know what I mean? There was something about it. I don't know what it was. Yeah. It was just the way she was. It was just her. I don't give a care in the world. All I care about right now are these chole bhature. And I was like, man, I want to be those chole bhature. I want her to care about me like she does about that. And that was it. The rest was history, really. We had some ups and downs trying to make it all happen and work and everything. And then in the end, I'm persistent like you.
Yeah.
And we made it happen, man. And the rest is history. So, yeah, man. So, yeah, thank you for letting the world know I'm a conjure.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, you warned the other guys off and then you jumped.
Yeah, that's it. And afterwards, my cousin actually came with me. And he's a mate as well. And he was in the car and he looked at me and he said, when I kind of told him, when you talk to your bros a little bit and you're like, it's like a uh-oh moment. And he was like, what's up? And I was like, I think I found. And he was like, don't even say it. And I said, I think she is. And he goes, shut up, no. And he goes, also, you hypocrite. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, we walked in looking at the floor because of your speech. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
It was a chole. I was looking at the chole.
I was just hungry. That's what.
Yeah. I saw him. I was like, I would eat like that too.
We say that. I wanted to ask you: is love at first sight a real thing, son?
Wow, hugely powerful question, man. I think you know what. When you're ready, when you become more ready, then it's more possible for that. When you're declaring it more, when you're putting it out there, I strongly believe it is. When going back to meeting my partner and everything, I just thought it was a partner. When you go back to the story of the wedding and then how my mom came in full circle, I remember during that ayahuasca experience, I saw her as my soulmate. And I still see her as that. But it was during that experience that I was like, wow, it all connected. But at the time, you asked that younger me, is it love at first sight? I'm like, it's lust at first sight, definitely. Yeah. She's beautiful, that's it. But as time gone on, I believe it is.
Okay, we need to stop the podcast right there because we need to talk about what you've just mentioned, ayahuasca. Okay, wow. For people that don't know, okay, can you tell everyone what that is first of all, and then what was that like?
So first of all, it's a very sacred plant. It's in the jungle. It's a tree that's actually protected by snakes. Yeah, so there's big snakes that protect it because there's shamans and there are people from the jungle, from the Amazon jungle. They don't want this wisdom to be shared with everyone in the world.
But where did you go to do this?
So I went to Colombia to do this, yeah. It's predominantly around South America, Peru, Colombia, Brazil, and they all have their own ways of doing it. But the sacred plant and tree is there to help people to gain wisdom, to free themselves from pain. And it's a medicine, they call it. We call it ayahuasca. Sometimes could be referred to as like maybe a drug, a psychedelic.
Psychedelic, yeah.
Yeah, but the way that they look at it is a medicine. Because they're saying we're going to heal whatever needs to be healed within you to get you to where you need to get to.
Okay.
And it's done with a shaman. A shaman is somebody that works with the medicine for like 30 years. And in order to be a shaman, they do 7 years of no salt, no sugar, no meat, no sex, no pornography, no masturbation, no none of these things. And they have to take the medicine 5 times a week. Wow. So it's a commitment to it. And they understand and work with the medicine really well. So you go there and oh my God, it's not for the lighthearted. But Sunny, I sit here today as a transformed man. Because of ayahuasca.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So much to unpack there.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, did you go to Colombia in general and then come across this, or did you go to Colombia to do ayahuasca?
I went there to do ayahuasca.
So then what gave you that idea to do this?
So a client of mine, actually, she went and did ayahuasca once, and she started telling me, Sonny, you need to go do it. You need to go do it.
Yeah.
And then I got in one contact, and then everything was just smooth after that. So I messaged one person, got it, booked, and that was it. I was like, okay, that seems easy.
Yeah.
Like something's going on here. You know, like it didn't seem complicated.
Okay.
Before I knew it, I'm on a flight. I got picked up by the person there. I'm like, oh, okay.
Smooth sailing, yeah.
This is smooth. Next minute, I'm in the ceremony, and it's held in this beautiful market.
Okay, so from the beginning, so the guy takes you to a location.
Yeah.
And how does it all work?
It's beautiful. So yeah, so it's in a nice forest area, lots of trees, beautiful nature, and it's in something called a Mallorca. And it's like a hut with wood and everything like that, and it's like spiritually protected, really, really well set up. But you walk in there and your body starts going, you're like, where am I?
Yeah.
And you feel the energy inside of you, and you're like, okay, something's going on here. And at first, you know, it was definitely my ego. I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm here to save the world. I'm healed. I'm fine. I've done Tony Robbins. And this again about 3 years ago now. So I've been investing in myself for about 10 years at this point. No, about 7 years at that point. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just here to help other people. I'm okay. I am. Wow. So this plant they prey on, and they make it a tea, a brew.
Oh, so it's not smoked, it's drank.
No, this one's drunk.
Okay.
Yeah. So they prey on it. They've been preying on it in the jungle as they put it together. And these shamans, they're all putting their energy into it to help people to heal, to help people to create a better life. They call you up, and this is it.
Was there more people in the hut?
Yeah. So at this hut, there was around 20 people. And first the shaman will come around and he will ask you, what's your intentions? What's calling you here? And, you know, first mine was like, yeah, I want to help the world. I want to be a better person. I want to help the world, make a big difference. Later on, it's changed and transformed a lot with the more depth that I've gone into and understanding my own healings. And other people are sharing about whatever they've gone through, confidence they need to be able to let go of pain, abuse. Maybe they're attracting narcissists, maybe they're attracting the wrong people, been abandoned, been hurt, and all these issues that stop them from creating the life they want with joy and love. Yeah. And he will go around and he's like, okay, we can help you. We can help you. In Spanish, and there's a translator. And, you know, you're going and you're a bit nervous. You're like, okay, what's going on here? There's a fire pit in the middle. There's clay ground. You're like, well, okay, cool. I've got this. I've got this. And you're like, it's your turn now. Yeah, huh? My turn. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. And that was exactly how it was actually the first time. I was a lot more jokey around it. I was trying to be playful around it.
Nervous.
I was so nervous. Yeah, I was so scared, really. I was like masking it in a way, but I was just trying to make myself comfortable as possible, right?
Course, yeah.
Like flying over to Colombia, scary thing. I go and I had to go first and drink it. You do a prayer when you drink it. You put your intentions into it. Drink it.
It's like
a thick plum. Yeah, plummy juice.
Okay.
First time, you think, oh, this is quite lovely. After that, you start to build, you know what consequence comes from it. It leads to a lot of purging and anything like that.
Okay.
So then I drink it. Then they call up the next person. They do a prayer on it. They drink it. All the lights turn off. There's a fire in the middle. For an hour, it's complete silence. This is when the medicine comes inside of you and starts working. Man, it took me on a roller coaster. It starts taking you. So like for me, it started to like work with my body, started to work with whatever was coming up in my life. And it took me deep. Started showing me actually at that stage, the first time was showing me like, what are you doing this social media for? It was flashing up. It was almost like my subconscious and anything like that playing up in my mind. What are you building?
Are you still coherent? Are you still aware? Are you awake? Are you asleep?
You're in a meditative state.
Meditative state. Okay.
Yeah. So because it's really dark as well, in like quite a meditative state. It's almost like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
During that period. And there are some visuals that do appear, that do pop up. But, you know, not for everyone. So sometimes whatever needs to appear. For me, the first time was a lot of social media, like, why are you doing this? Almost like teasing me. But it was just myself, the pressure I was putting on myself. And then it starts building up, Sunny. It starts building up inside of your stomach because you purge, you release a lot of the emotions, you release a lot of the things that are holding you back. And this is a deep sick, like if you're ill and there's like bio that comes out, not just your food, it's like real bio, right?
Yeah.
And it starts building up. And it took me on this journey the first time. I was like, why are you doing all this social media? Why are you trying to do all of this? It took me to, do you just want to find love? And I was like, whoa. And you got to explore these pathways that it's taking you on. And it took me through, and I was like, do I not feel love? It took me on this powerful journey where I wasn't loving myself. And it was so hard for me to do. I remember doing it in my mind that day. And when I was working with the medicine, I'm like, look, I love my wife. I love people. I love my wife. I love my brother. I love my family. I love this. I love them. Goes, what about yourself? I couldn't do it. And as soon as I did, that was it. I was gone. I was purging. I was seeking. It was so many years where I wasn't loving myself. It made me go through that journey and heal it all. There were so many times when I was younger where I just wasn't giving myself that grace, that love, that kindness, that forgiveness. I wasn't doing that to myself. And I went through all of my life and I started just loving myself. And it was just so beautiful because that was where the transformation started.
Whoa. That is, well, I'm sweating just listening. That's so intense. That is, okay. So while you're going through it all, okay, like, are you aware of time?
Time is a complete illusion. Yeah.
Okay. So
time.
You don't know what's how long you've been in this state. It could be a couple of minutes, could be an hour.
Yeah.
So you don't know. Okay.
You know, the team's amazing. They come and support you.
Yeah.
They come and like help you. They do a beautiful cleanse later on and stuff. Yeah. But when you're deep in, you're gone. So yeah, you're deep into a state where you're deepening and healing them wounds. That was how it initially started. Now I've done it 15 times. Yeah. The journey of the last ones, I'm more conscious of time. I'm more conscious of the environment. Because I've healed so many of them blocks. Now it's like a really powerful connection. I'll show you one of the most beautiful ones. And we touched on it earlier. It was about trust and God and spirituality.
So when you say God, how did God appear in what?
That scared me so much, Sunny. I swear to you, that was the scariest thing that I saw at that point in my life. God was everywhere. It was the acknowledgement that God is everywhere that scared everything inside of me. Like I was so scared. It was almost like I was scared to meet God. And I saw God in the fire. I saw God in the earth. I saw God all around me. And I was like, wow, this is too much for me. I was like, I can't handle this. This is too much.
It's your first one?
This was about 6 ceremonies in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So even after a few, it can still get intense and
yeah.
So then when you saw God, your initial feeling was fear.
My initial feeling was fear.
Okay.
And then it took me on a journey where it showed me how I was in life without God. And literally, Sunny, I was rolling on the mud, right? And I didn't know if like this cold mud was me. I didn't know, like, is it my sweat? What is it? I didn't know what's going on. I was so cold. I was shivering and I was so by myself. It was showing me life that I was creating by myself. And I was like, oh, it's so painful. I was like, I need out of this. I need out of this. And I'm asking it. Like, I'm asking, please help me get out of this. I didn't like this. Please help me. And it was like, I started praying, please help me. Please help me see the joy, the love, happiness. Please help me get through this. And it was mad. I started praying to God, and then like time's the illusion. So I don't know if it was 15 minutes later, but the next minute I remember I was like feeling warmth, love, joy. I was like feeling a lot more happier and centered. Oh, this feels so good. And I asked myself, what happened? I was remembering the name of God. And, you know, we could call it the universe, but it's remembering the blessings that we have all around us. I went to Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat recently in February. He calls it the quantum field. And it's a quantum field of energy that's all around us, that helps create us. It was in remembrance of that I was like, I could trust more on this baby in the womb that grew healthy with a heart, ears, everything that functioned, that grew. I trusted that without knowing. I trusted the oxygen I breathe without knowing. I trusted I got to Colombia.
That's incredible. That is so, because you hear so many stories and often I can't explain it. A lot of people struggle to put it into words of what they went through. And you just gave us a trip. You just took us along for the ride. That was amazing. And what's quite incredible is how much you remember of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually, you kept a lot of that experience with you. So what made you continue to go? So like you say, after each experience, do you feel like there's still more that needs healing?
Yeah. Well, I'm in a really beautiful place now, actually, after the last one. One of the reasons why I stopped drinking, it's only been recently, end of November. I tried to stop in the past and I'm quite vulnerable with this. It wasn't easy for me to stop, actually. Okay. It was a condition that I had from 16, 18, I think I started having drinks. And during that period, my confidence grew massively while I had a drink. So I associated alcohol and confidence together. I associated having a drink and then bringing that vibe and bringing that energy. So it was heavily linked to how I would operate on a social level. And I tried to stop the year before because it's told me in ayahuasca again, this isn't serving you. It's not keeping you vibing high. It's not keeping you in a better state. But then summer came along. And I was like, one drink isn't that bad, is it? One drink and then another social event. Oh, it's okay. And then I carried on. And before I knew it, I was back in that cycle again, where every time I would go out to a social meeting, I'd be like, let's have some drinks and let's bring the fun. Let's bring the party. And that was a Sunny I was known for as well. Somebody that brings the fun. That was a identity that people had me as. Oh, Sunny's so much fun. Oh, let's down with it. Let's do this. That was a big part of my identity and being cool as somebody that, when I was growing up, used that as a tool to be more fun, right? And then at the last one, at the end of November, it was really tough. And I asked the medicine, how can I trust more? How can I live more in this protection, in this guidance? And it was really beautiful, actually. I've not shared this online, but it was so beautiful. It showed me all the protection and guidance I've had around me throughout my whole life. It showed me like even the example of how we came back to the good water, but just being around God's presence and energy. But then it really showed me why I had to stop alcohol, and it was pulling my insides. When I was purging, my liver, my livers were killing. It was like hurting, not just for the one day. I did 3 ceremonies. It was all 3 ceremonies made my body pain so much. And it was like, wow, this is what you're doing to yourself, Sunny. It made it so strong that I'm like, I don't ever drink again. That's it.
God, that was enough for you to just be put off for life.
Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible, man.
Yeah.
What is ayahuasca that can make you just self-reflect on such a level? That is incredible, potent stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the shamans, they say it's a gift from God. They say it's a hair from God that they planted. It was funny, actually. The way it came to them was in a dream.
Oh, wow.
So it came to them in a dream, and then they just started acting on it, started cutting the wood, started doing it, started making it this, and then they drank it, and then they started like healing whatever pains, whatever problems were happening in the tribe. Somebody was like doing really wrong, they'll give it to them and they would have to like learn. They'll go through the journey and then they'll heal and they'll go, okay, this is how we're dealing with life.
Have you heard of a comedian called Ari Shaffir?
No.
Ari Shaffir is a comedian who he did an ayahuasca experience, and he was out for 15 minutes. Okay. And it's filmed online somewhere on YouTube. You can watch this.
Wow.
When he comes to, kicking and screaming and all sorts, he came to and he was so out of it that he couldn't understand where his family's gone. They were like, what are you talking about? And he said, I had a family for like 2 years.
Wow.
I lived a life underwater.
Wow.
He had an underwater family and some Aquaman shit. And he actually had a wife, he had kids, he had family, friends, he had neighbors, he had a whole life, he had memories and stories for 2 years worth. And so when he came to, he was like, well, where are they all gone? What's happening?
Yeah.
And he couldn't understand it. And like, I'm the first to call bullshit on everything. I am so terrible. I'm so closed-minded. So I'm like, show me the science, show me the facts. And then, but the thing is, I've heard him tell this story, and I've heard other comedians tell the story in so many different podcasts. that the story is always the same.
Yeah.
And I always think like, man, who knows? What did that mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my mind wants to tell me that, yeah, in another life, he's a mermaid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It might sound crazy, but who knows? You know what I mean? What is it? What does this mean? Do you know what I mean? So it's incredible. This stuff is, man. It's powerful, incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really does open your mind up to so much more of the world because of that. Yeah, and like, there's so much you can read. There's so much that you can experience. I was coming into this of like 7 years of training, of like Tony Robbins, of coaching, of qualifications. I really thought, oh, my mind's in a really solid place, you know, like who I am in that way there. And I was coaching to great ability. But then when I started to explore this, it was like that deeper wisdom comes through. It's a deeper wisdom of just not the consciousness of it, but the real experience of it. That was one of the greatest gifts I got, was this depth of compassion. When somebody comes to me at Love Fest or the retreats and they tell me like their father wasn't there for them, their mother wasn't there for them, they've been abused, they've been raped, they've been come out of a narcissistic relationship. We hold that space. But one of the greatest gifts is that compassion of looking them in their eye and going, it's okay. You're safe.
Wow.
You're safe. You're with us here. You're safe. You're in a good place. And, you know, we've had people that just lost their father like a year ago, 2 years ago. And obviously for them, it's not time for them to open their heart. Obviously for them, they're going to struggle to open their heart. Like, it don't take a genius to understand that, right? But we got to say, it's all right. I'm here now. So if you need support, if he is a bit narcissistic, if he is a bit like that, come talk to us. We're here for you. We can help you with this. And just in that moment there, they actually feel that and they're like, okay, let me go date then. And then like, it's so funny, Sunny. Like they would laugh. They will be able to be a bit more open because they're like, okay, let me go date then. Let me have fun.
Yeah.
Let me get to know someone.
Why not? I mean, when you feel safe, you can then look to other emotions, happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that
precisely.
makes so much sense. That does. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how to get into a relationship in terms of where's the best place to go. Love Fest, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. If you need a how-to and how to sort yourself out a little bit first, you've got your book. But what I want to touch upon is, what do you do once you think you found it? Yeah. What does the coach say? What should someone do now that I've come away from the party? For example, how soon should you message straight after? You've got the number now. Like little things like that are key, because I bet you there's so many people that are screaming at the phone when they watch this and they're probably thinking, yeah, I get all that. But what are the basics? How do I not mess up on the basics? What would you recommend?
Oh, you're absolutely right there, Sonny. You know, there was this wonderful girl. She came to the Love Fest event and she spent the whole evening with this one guy. They connected really well. She wanted to go on a date with him. You know, it was crazy. As soon as she left him, she went back to her hometown, which was about an hour and a half away. I won't say where, but he left. He first messaged her saying, get home safe. Her battery died. He messaged again half an hour later. She didn't know any of this until the following day, saying, why are you ignoring me, you cow? He messaged, you cow. Another hour after that, he started to tell her all of her truths. You're old, you're like this, you'll never find a man, etc., etc. These are really, really bad behaviors. He continued messaging her non-stop, Sunny, right? All the way until 8 a.m. when she put her phone back on. Yeah, she woke up and she was like, what are you doing? What are all these messages?
What is wrong with you?
I know. And then he was like, oh, I was just checking you're okay. She's like, you're not really checking I'm okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's mad.
It was crazy. And she was like, I did want to go on a date with you. Now I definitely don't want to go on a date with you. And she blocked his number. He got his friend to call her to say he's not a bad guy. She's like, well, why did he text me like 100 times? Hey, what kind of behavior is this? And you know what? Obviously, bless him. Like, he shouldn't be doing that, but bless him. And if you text in the evening to say, I hope you get home safe, or did you get home safe? I actually really don't like that word hope. It leaves it into a very grey area. If I say, I hope I could come on the show, you're like, do you want to come on the show or not?
Yeah.
Like, when can I come on the show? You're like, oh, next week or whatever. It gives a bit more clarity.
Yeah.
So if he goes, did you get home safe? That's a beautiful message. Wait for them to reply. That's a key thing. Wait.
Let's reiterate that. Wait for the reply. Yeah.
Wait for the reply. And then it's a huge thing. When women go past the age of 28, they start to value consistency. So when we're younger and they're under 28, they actually like the inconsistencies. Spontaneous behavior. And the reason why is because they haven't found themselves at that point. So when we're under 28 and the woman's under 28, they're still looking for the right job. They're still trying to find themselves, still trying to position themselves. So that consistent partner that's texting every day, that's being reliable, they're a little bit like, oh, I'm not too sure if I find this attractive. Come 28, their mom, their dad's like, oh, it's time for you to get married. It's time for you to meet someone. They're starting to think, what are healthy habits of a good partner? They start to value consistency. They're in a position, in a job, or they're in a secure position that they're happy with. And now they start to value consistency, that daily message, that daily phone call. These are the traits that we're starting to see that women really, really admire now.
Okay.
Right. And also with a guy, from a woman, guys just love a bit of this openness. Just share a little bit more about your day. Just share a little bit more about life. These are more positive traits that are creating the healthy relationship, and really practical tips where that woman's texting, instead of just saying, I'm good, where the guy's like reading into it. Is she not interested? Is she giving me a basic reply? What is going on? Instead, share, I'm good. I went to a gym, done this, done that. Now the guy feels, oh, she's putting effort into this relationship. And I value that.
Well, it's that overthinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to control that. You don't want to constantly be overthinking. So don't put yourself in a position where you will be overthinking, basically. That's brilliant. I mean, again, I can't get over that guy, first of all. What a psychopath.
I know, it's sad, right?
Proper mad. But again, people, now I'm not trying to encourage this behavior. But I bet in his mind, he's doing the right thing. Like in his mind, look, I just wanted to make sure she was okay. And then she didn't reply. So I thought she's a horrible person. So I'm letting her know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
He was like, I'm going to be her teacher.
That's incredible. That's unbelievable. Again, going back to what you said in terms of what we should do. What advice would you give to someone that's in a relationship and they think maybe, like, let's say they're with someone that's a bit of a narcissistic, someone who's got like narcissistic traits. First of all, how would you identify someone that's like that? And then how would you get out of that relationship?
Sunny, this is one of the toughest things people can get out of, because a narcissist will just beat you down gently. It's not something like they just wear the t-shirt, I'm a narcissist, but it's the small things. Like they come back home tired. They go, well, I'm more tired. I've been working all day. That's a little thing that can stack up. They start creating it, right? Another thing they can just say inadvertently in conversations, like, you will never find anyone else. Yeah. No one would ever be with you. That kind of behavior, no one would be with you. And what they do is they'll carry on their sentence. So then they'll carry on talking about football or work or this. And then you're like, whoa, did I actually hear that? Did you say it? And then if they try to bring it up, they'll say, why are you making a big deal out of this? What are you doing? Why can't you cause an argument for? You're like, no, you said it. And then it's them now causing that argument, causing that problem. And, it's heartbreaking.
It's similar to like gaslighting a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the traits there.
That's very scary, that is. What's scary is like the way you mentioned it, it's very little and very subtle, but it's continuous. And it's just that little chipping away and chipping away. So how would someone get out of that kind of relationship?
Firstly, one of the best things they could do is reach out back to their family and friends. And because narcissists normally take you away from your family and friends, they pull you away from the people that you love and people that are close to your life. The way they do that is they poke holes in that friendship. So now they start to think, oh, that friendship isn't a real friendship. Actually, they're belittling me. Actually, they're talking bad about me. Actually, we're not genuinely friends there. And as I start to separate them, they start to take all of their connections away. They start pulling them away. So the first thing they should do is reach out back to their friends and family and literally just tell them a little bit about it. Just tell them like, look, I feel a bit trapped, feel a bit controlled right now in this relationship. And I don't know what's going on. Just share as much as you can share. You don't have to be certain, you don't have to be accurate, but you just need to be able to share. And for the friend to forgive and to actually be there for them, because it's a scary place for them to be in and what they're experiencing.
Is finding fault in your partner's family a trait of a narcissist. For example, when mother-in-laws, it's such a thing, a trend that the son-in-law and the mother-in-law don't get on. Do you know what I mean? So he'll constantly be hammering her, saying, "Look, your mom's doing this now. Your mom's doing that now." Is it a thing where you just can't help yourself, but you intentionally just trying to keep her away from that side of the family, her family?
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very difficult one because sometimes it ends up being like a banter, a fun little, oh, well, your mother-in-law is like this, or oh, well, your mother-in-law is like that. And it could be that way, and it could be unintentional. It's more when they're trying to break down the people that are really close to you.
Okay.
It's like, say you got a best friend and they start saying, Sonny, your best friend, I don't know, they give you dodgy looks all the time. Or, your best friend, I don't know, I get weird vibes on them. I don't think they respect you that much.
Planting the seed.
And you start going, actually, maybe they don't respect me that much. Because when we open up to a relationship, we open up our mind, we open up our heart, we open up everything, the guard's down. And then when they say something, we actually do take it in because of that, because we're not guarding ourselves. If a random said to you, your friends don't respect you, it's like, shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you on about? But because somebody is so close to your heart that you open up to, you think, am I missing that? Again, yeah, you have to be careful with things like, oh, well, you're always running back to your mum. Yeah, that could be something. Yeah, or you always want to tell your mum, you always want to involve them. Yeah.
Like in our culture, you find that is quite prevalent as well, that the guy had problems with her family. Mm-hmm. And there's always that thing where, at first everything's hunky-dory, everything's fine. And eventually there's nothing wrong with your relationship. It's just all to do with the family. Mm-hmm. And there's so many family and third-party people involved. What would you say about other people getting involved in your relationship?
Yeah. I highly encourage, because of the divorce rates, because of the mismarriages, because of the hidden divorces, talk to a specialist.
Okay.
Don't bring that into your family. There's something called the Gollum effect. Have you heard of it?
No, Gollum effect.
Gollum, like Gollum? No, Gollum like Spider-Man Gollum.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the Gollum effect.
Yeah.
And what it is if I speak bad about you and I start thinking that your performance is lower, then you start performing lower. Your confidence, your self-esteem, and your self-worth goes down. And this was studied. Now, if I start speaking bad about you to all of the people you're connected with from my side, my mother, my family, my cousins, and they all start speaking bad about you, imagine that compounded effect on how they see you. And also, how is your performance, confidence, and self-esteem going to be when you see them?
Yeah, 100%.
You're going to be shriveled up. You're going to be scared, and you're not even going to know why, but you're going to be like, why don't I feel comfortable here anymore? Why don't I feel good here anymore? And one of the worst ways that we can handle situations is to isolate people. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So isolate them as in just keep boxes, basically. Keep people in certain places.
Oh, your husband's like that, or keep away from him. And that's so common within the Indian culture as well. Oh, keep away from them because they're a little bit there. It's like, no, let's bring them in. Let's have a conversation. What's going on? In a really beautiful way, right?
Yeah.
That's how we should be dealing with things. Like, what's going on? What's happening in the relationship? Yeah. Not just talking bad about them, not just making it a fun gossip. It's
something you touched upon earlier, and I've been thinking about it, manifestation. And like, is that A, a real thing?
Yeah.
And B, if it is, how can it be useful in finding a partner?
So yeah, manifestation is real. And the simplest way to put it is, you shared with me the address for the podcast today. I put it into my maps and it showed me the direction, right? But back in the day, I didn't have maps. So maybe I would have got lost on the way. Maybe we wouldn't have known the directions. Maybe the email would have been lost. And many people are always manifesting, but they just become unconscious of it because they're doing the same habits constantly. So when people are manifesting love, sometimes they're just manifesting the relationships they already have in their life. So if I see this a lot with clients, if they had bad relationships with their father, they generally manifest naturally a bad relationship in a partnership. Yeah. It's because of what they're used to. It's what they're familiar with. So when that good person comes along and he's like, hey, I want to love you, I want to treat you good. What are you on about? Get out of here, you.
Used to that, are they?
They're not used to it. But that bad one that comes along, that shows up once every couple of months or a couple of weeks, just like their father, perhaps. Oh, something about you I like. So they're unintentionally manifesting that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
But when they manifest properly, they're basically drawing out the map to get to the destination. So they're saying, I want that healthy, loving relationship. What are them traits? Consistency, being kind, being that strength, being masculine, not being a mummy's boy, right?
Yeah,
These kind of things they're like starting to be clear on. And then when it does show up, they're like, actually, let's discuss this, or this isn't what I wanted in a relationship. So they're clear on where they're going and who they're being with.
What kind of examples? How can you tie it in with a spiritual way? So you got your breathing, you got all these techniques and things that you do. Is there some way, some kind of little pre-ritual everyone should be doing you think's helpful?
Oh yeah, amazing question. So I went to Dr. Joe Dispenza earlier on this year, and one of the best things I learned from him was when we are not feeling safe, our brain, our prefrontal cortex closes and the activity reduces when we're not feeling safe. So when we're in fight or flight, our prefrontal cortex closes, and that's responsible for building new relationships, trust, and building love. Yeah.
For people that know, the prefrontal cortex is the front portion of your brain, isn't
Correct, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So then when they're in this fight or flight environment, it's not a time for love. It's not a time to create a beautiful relationship. Instead, it's a time to work, survive, and get on with life, right? And because of that, we don't open up to love. We don't open up to trust. And we also meet other people that are in that survival mentality because we also find that attractive. So what we must do, the ritual is, we must connect with ourselves to feel safe. So you go into a practice just before you go to bed, connect with your heart, connecting with, I'm safe to love. Then we go down and we go into some nice deep breaths, just allowing ourselves to go deeper into our body. And by doing that, we're just telling our body, don't need to be tensed when it comes down to love. Don't need to freak out. Instead, we can just be nice and closed, relaxed, open, feel safe. And now we start to visualize the relationship we want. Now we start to get excited. We start using the heart to see the relationship. Now our brain is starting to activate. Our heart's starting to activate in that center. And the science shows once we bring our energy into our heart, it starts to open up the prefrontal cortex, which again starts to build trust, build connections, and build openness. And then we take the action. So we go out there and we go meet people. We go out there and we form new connections, go to Love Fest, etc. We put ourselves out there. And the last part of the ingredients is faith.
Yeah. Okay.
Because fear and faith are both imaginary. But it's up to you what you want to believe. Yeah. Because the fear of being rejected is just in your mind. The faith of saying there could be a great person out there that I can connect with. I've done the work. This is who I am. This is the strength I am, and really start to connect with the person you are. You can have faith in that and put yourself out there and you'll meet that great person. Or you can manifest the fear of it not working out and that one person.
I like that. Positive energy is very important, isn't it? A positive mindset.
Yeah.
That's good.
It just means you don't hold on to it, right? It just means that when you got a positive mindset, like there's studies around the energy that you have. And the studies come from a great doctor called Dr. David Hawkins. And he studied the energy of fear. There's about 100 out of 1,000. Yeah. 100 out of 1,000. Think about that as a mobile phone. Yeah. If 100%, that's like 10% on your mobile phone. That's fear. So when you're operating from fear, it's like really, really close. It's really quiet energy. And you'll only meet other people that are operating around that because that one that's enjoyed dancing around on the dance floor, having fun, they're in a different realm to you there. Simply put, I went to my niece's kids' party. She was only 6. Oh. And there's a group of kids that are dancing to music. And they were having the best time ever. And they were loving it. They're just chilling out, dancing, being silly as it would be. Then there's a group of kids that are like, I'm tired, mummy, I want to go, right? And both groups are just separate in this very simple way. Be like, okay, this group isn't chilling with that group, and that group's not chilling with them because their energy is completely off. This group wants to go, they're a bit moany. This group's dancing and having a good time. And it's the same when we're people and we're attracting new people into our life. We're also attracting similar vibrational people because of how we're showing up and our energy we're putting into it.
Wow. That's such a great analogy as well. You see that, don't you, with kids?
Yeah.
And not even just kids. Let's look at, you go to a bar or a club. You see it there a little bit as well. The ones that want to have a good time, the ones that want to socialize, they will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the others who are just standing in like a group, just looking at each other, hoping a girl comes to them.
Yeah.
Randomly. But
yeah. This manifestation isn't working, is it? Where are they?
I don't understand.
Yeah, what's this manifestation?
Wore my Sunday best.
Yeah.
Why? They're coming.
I'm here now.
Let's destroy that myth, first of all.
Yeah.
Going to a club or a bar with a group of men.
Yeah.
Has that ever worked? Where you just stand there with a group of lads and just look at the girls? Has that ever worked where a girl will just come up to you and say, I want to talk to you. Let's go.
I think only in a place called Angels or something now.
Yeah, I think that's the only place it would work.
I've heard of that place, don't know I mean, something like that, it would work. But obviously not. No, on a normal setting, it won't. But equally though, for ladies as well, like even when they come to Love Fest, if you come in a big group, and you expect all these guys to come and talk to you, first of all, that's so daunting, so intimidating. Like, you got to open a bit of space. Like, one of the simplest tips I could give a woman, if they want a guy to come talk to them or if they want to interact, it's just simply saying, hey. A woman don't have to do much. They're not leading the energy. They just say, hey. And that guy could be like, oh, you look beautiful, or whatever he wants to say. Right?
What about chat up lines?
Oh,
have you got any embarrassing chat up lines that you've heard or you've been told about?
Oh my goodness. I can't think of it right now.
Well,
have you got any?
Oh,
you must have some.
You know, I haven't, but the thing is, I know they're out there. One of those ones. No, there's been some crazy ones. And I'm pretty sure I've said some stupid ones.
But not boyfriend material. I'm sure them ones were happening, weren't they? What material was this? Yeah. I like that one. I'm sure that one was right.
There was one where we're in a chat up line.
Yeah.
But, it was a mate of mine. He's a bit desi.
Hi.
And there's a group of girls walking past, and we put him on the spot. And we just straight away, we're like, just talk to him. And he didn't know what to say. And as they're walking past, he went, "Main kya ji?" And then the girls just looked at him like, but it kind of worked because they found it hilarious. And they came over to be like, what did you just say to us, in a playful way? And then me and my mate look at each other like, I cannot believe that kind of sort of work. Like, he's communicating with them now. So, like, is there something in that, like a bit of crazy?
Yeah, a bit of crazy, a bit of opening.
Yeah.
A bit of opening is like, you know what, right now, we're in like a really beautiful place where you can actually just talk to people because people are missing connection. Because what happened with COVID, because of so many things, like now you don't have to be like the 1%. You don't have to be that special, but you can just say like, hey, how are you lot doing? You having a good time? I know it takes courage, but the first time you do it, it gets easier. And then it gets easier, and then it gets easier, and then it gets so much more easier after that. And create an energy. This is where the biggest tip I could give people is create a beautiful energy around you. Have fun with the lads. If you're with a couple of people, have fun. Even make the conversation light, make it upbeat. Don't just be staring at women and think, oh, I want you. Right? Like,
what, you mean that doesn't work, son? If I stand there with my chest puffed out and I just give someone angry stares.
Yeah, like the supermarket look, like, oh, I want that one. Or the Little Britain, I want that one.
Yeah.
No, I want that one. Not quite. Can work with some people, eh?
Like you got like just some random questions, okay?
Yeah.
So you know how you got like princesses.
Yeah.
So for example, you got like I won't say princesses, you got like you treat a girl like a princess. Okay. When is it too soon to do that? For example, go on a date, first date now, okay? What's an acceptable first date gift? Okay? Flowers, chocolate, or should you go straight in for the Gucci bag? Am I showing determination? Do you know what I mean? Like, look, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah, if you want to manifest a gold digger, go in with a
gold digger.
Gucci bag. That would be your manifestation, there, right? Like, no, I went in first date with a Gucci bag, took her to the best restaurant around, and you know what? She turned out to be a gold digger. What were the chances? Like,
how did that happen?
Yeah. Where did she get the idea? I had money. I don't know.
Okay, when you go on a first date, who should pay?
Oh, I think it's bare minimum for the guy to pay.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy has to pay.
Okay.
And I'll back that though with saying don't go on as many dates and make them dates worthy. If I was to tell a client, I wouldn't advise them to take a girl out for a date until they've had a call, until they've got to know who they are a little bit, if their values align, and really get to know somebody and then offer the date. They just say, I'm taking you out, and that's it. Because it shows a lack of worth from yourself.
So essentially do a bit of due diligence.
That's
find
it.
out a little bit about them. And then,
Yeah.
It's just such a minefield. It's very delicate, isn't it? It's like, because the economy of words, one slight word overused or one slight word not used. Do you know what I mean? If you put too much effort in, he's obsessive. You don't put enough effort in, he's not interested. It's a minefield.
Yeah.
For anyone that's single, I'm just looking right now like, leave me alone. I'll figure it out, guys. But it's hard, man. I feel sorry for like the new generation that's coming up. There's so much, because we didn't have it as bad as they do in terms of social media.
Yeah.
Social media, when I was coming up, was just barely a thing back then. But now your social media presence is a thing. Would you find like people are looking at that as a status thing as well?
Absolutely. So yeah, they're looking at your social media presence, also looking at, I think the biggest problem is a delusion that people have around dating now because of dating apps. So a woman that just puts up a filtered picture, per se, could get hundreds of likes and opportunities with a guy. And these guys actually maybe just like going through it, right? They might not actually care, but in their mind now, they think that's the standard guy that they should be with. And sometimes this is a tough conversation to have with people. But when I present them and I go, well, I think this would be a good match for you, they're like, no way. And sometimes it's a mirror. It's literally a mirror reflection. The guy is like a mirror reflection of the woman, right?
Oh, right.
And I'm like, well, I think you would be well suited. They're like, no way, I would never be that. I want the best looking guy in here. That's what they point to. I want to talk to the best looking guy in here. I want to connect with them. And part of the event, we introduced people together. And we're like, it might be a bit difficult. We don't know how to
it's a hard truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's your job to ensure you've got to give them the facts, really. If they want help, then you're not going to just waste someone else's time if you know clearly it's not going to go anywhere. So that's an awkward position to be in as well.
Yeah, we start taking more of a softer approach on that side of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How does one portray their personality? How can you explain to someone and show some boy or girl? How do you show them your personality? Because it is initially all looks, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the beginning, whether anyone says anything, you don't wear your personality per se. So how does one then present their personality?
Stories. Stories are the best way to do this. Like if I came up here and I said to you, Sunny, I'm an integral guy. Why the hell are you telling me that? Right? Yeah. I'm a funny guy. You're like, there's something wrong with you. Like, what are you on about? Like this guy, he's a bit dodgy, right? But if I share a story of integrity, if I share a story about a journey I've been on, where I went to ayahuasca and I saw a lot of my demons, I had to face that, and then I had to commit to a better life. You're like, wow, this guy of integrity, yeah? It comes in all around. Again, with humor and with family and loved ones. When we share a story about our niece or our nephew or somebody that we care about, it shows the person that you are. And the sooner they can share a story about their life, the sooner they can create deeper connections. And the science behind that is, again, it goes beyond the conscious brain. It goes beyond the thinking brain. And a story, just like movies that we watch, go into the emotion, the subconscious. And we're like, wow. And it's in them moments that we're like, well, they're not my normal type, but there was something about them. It's through sharing these stories that can really help illustrate a bit of your character, a bit of your life, and a bit of who you are in like a minute or 2 minutes.
Oh, that's a great advice, that is. Yeah. So you're going to find people now writing, ChatGPT, write me a story, memorizing that and then showing up.
Well, I want to throw that back on you because you're a great communicator, Sunny. And also you do stand-up comedy. I'd love to find out, how do you build trust with the audience? How do you build a connection with the audience so fast? Because sometimes dating's putting yourself out there in that vulnerability is similar.
Stand-up comedy is, a lot of people think that you're funny all the time. That's a big misconception, that is. Don't get me wrong, there probably are stand-up comedians who are funny all the time. But for the vast majority, like when you go to an event, you sign up, you're about to perform. Sometimes an open mic night, which is the most common thing people at my level do. When you're right at the beginning and you're starting, you're just showing up basically. And when you go in, it's not like it is in like when you watch stand-up specials, they're waiting in the green room. Okay. Separate room. It's not like that. Okay. It's a seedy pub bar somewhere. I've been to loads of them. And then when you go there, you're just there with half the audience and the comedians are all mixed. You don't know who's who. So like, for example, I walked in the last one I did and they said, just sit down with the other comedians. I was like, okay. I turned around and I looked and it was a group of people having a laugh, really loud. They were loving life. And there was a group that were just sitting. And I knew they're the comedians. Oh, okay. Yeah, they weren't saying a single thing. They weren't laughing. They weren't having a laugh. They were just miserable. You know what I mean? They were like, in their minds, all I could see was, how many more of these have I got to do until I make it? Or, man, I hope I don't mess up my lines. Or, man, I hope I remember this. You know what I mean? So you could see the struggle. And that's what it is. So when you're up on stage, the silence is deafening. It's silent. You're by yourself. The lights hit you. You can't see audience. You can see silhouettes. Yeah. And it's just such a lonely place to be until you get your first laugh of the night. When you get that laugh, oh man, it's like you're being embraced. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, the economy of words is so important. Like you can say something, but if you say and you use one too many words, have you lost them? Yeah. You're constantly thinking of that. If you don't say enough, oh, maybe they didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? Should I get to my punchline faster or not? Then you've got the worry of, I've got 5 minutes on stage today. I've got 10 minutes today. Then another comedian's going to come on. Do you know what I mean? So I say a joke, they've laughed. Do I let them continue laughing or should I cut in? Because I've got to worry about, there's so much going on in your brain. So connecting with all you're constantly doing is connecting with the audience. You're obsessed with what the audience thinks. You know how we're always told, aren't we? Don't care what people think. Don't care. In stand-up comedy, all you do is care what people think. Yeah. And then at the same time, but you don't care how they feel about what you say. So you got to say what you want to say. You think it's funny, if it's your opinion, regardless of what it is and say it. You know what I mean? Again, obviously you're there to make them laugh. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how it is. It's, again, I'm at the starting point now, but I love communication. I love talking. Again, I'm doing a podcast, so I love talking to people and finding things out. And stand-up comedy is just such a unique form of communication. It's surreal. It's the only place where you can find both the most happiest moment in your life and the most terrifying. Wow. So you can make someone laugh, you get a roar. When you get a roar and you can see people loving what you've just said, there's no feeling like it. A room full of people you've just entertained. It's beautiful. Same time when you say something and it doesn't land and they just look at you in a dead face and they look into your soul and they're like, get off the stage. There's no worse feeling in the world. That's a bombing. So it's just incredible that every time you step on there, you don't know. I've been in the same room, performed in the same place, done the same joke and had 2 different reactions. So you just don't know. But the greats, I would imagine, you know what I mean? Like they more or less always now are winning. Always getting the laughs, unless they're working material out. So you know what I mean. But when you've worked your stuff out and you're still not getting it, it's a lonely place to be, man. It's a lonely place.
I can imagine that's quite similar to dating, actually, and especially like some of the events I can do, because it's very daunting initially going into a date or a connection. And again, the economy of words as well. They always feel that pressure. And one of the great things I advise some people is think of it like they're gonna like you over time. So rather than like it's a one line that they're gonna like me over time, and then having that really takes that pressure away as well. Same for me actually when it comes down to trusting God to not trusting God. When I over worry a situation and I'm like, is it selling out? Is this event going to be like this? Is this going to go to plan? I'm actually creating a big block within the energy around that. So I'm like overthinking it. I'm actually really trying to force it myself. When I actually just open up to trusting God and trusting things are going to work out, it's like I breathe. And then the way I compose myself on my videos, the way I compose myself in conversations around the event is completely different, right? But I know when I'm a bit more worried and a bit more uptight about it, I'm pushing people away. People are like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to your events or anything. I'm not fine. Okay. But then when I'm like, I trust the right people are going to come there. I trust God. God put it in my head. I trust it's like my whole body, my demeanor just relaxes, and people just connect with that so much more. That's the same advice I'll give to the people coming into any like dating or any situations. Just take that worry away and just say, you know what? I trust I'm meant to be here. Trust this connection's meant to happen. Let me just share. Let me talk. And it can be more themselves, right? And I trust that connection can develop, and then we don't need to over message. Don't need to be obsessive. We can push all these things away by going into this. Trust that the connection will build. Trust that. Just how I like caught the bus with my partner.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sure if I'm 45 minutes on this bus with her, there's going to be a moment it builds, right? It's not that one thing. Yeah. It's not the next thing. Something's going to happen. It's going to build.
Is it a little bit like, would you say it's it's like the probability, isn't it? Like if I just keep trying, something's going to land. Something has to work. And the same way how you said trust, as in, would you say it's a little bit like, if it's not in your control, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is let God take care of that.
Yeah.
There's a little story my dad said to me a long time ago, and I've always remembered it. And he said, he was trying to tell me that. He was trying to explain that to me. It was a bit of a teaching moment. But he was saying, what are you worried about it for? Like I was done my exams at the time, and I was really fretting about the results. And he said, what are you worried about? Fair career, fair. And I got really annoyed with him.
Yeah.
And I said, Dad, I'm worried because, this is going to affect my future and this. And he goes, hang on, have you done the exam? I said, yeah. And he said, it's done now. I said, yeah. And he goes, it's in Babaji's hand now, so don't worry about it. And I was like, yeah, Dad. And he goes, let me tell you something. I said, what? And he goes, what would you do when if you came face to face with a tiger? And I said, what do you mean? He said, what would you do if you came face to face with a tiger? And I said, so obviously I started giving my own analytical advice. I said, Dad, I'll take my top off, yeah? I'll try and like block his face. And then Dad goes, okay. And then Dad goes, ask me. I said, okay. I said, Dad, what would you do if you came with a tiger? I said, I don't know. My dad goes, the tiger's going to do everything. Do you know what I mean? Maggie can't know that. What am I going to do? Everything that's going to get done that day is the tiger. You know what I mean? So it's out of your hands. You think you can do what you're going to do, but ultimately, whatever's more powerful is going to take over. And that's what he was trying to explain to me. Like, look, leave it in God's hands. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. But what I took away from that is, I'm just going to get mauled all my life. Basically. So, Oman knew you was coming on. Yeah. So he's gone away and found some very clever questions for a specific game. Okay. Bare minimum or princess treatment. Woo. Okay. But the stipulation is, this is within a month, within the 4-week period. Okay. So here's the questions. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. Guy pays for the first date.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
I would say that's bare minimum.
Yeah, he has to.
He has to.
Yeah.
Again, the argument could be if he does, then she could say, what you don't think I can pay for my own food?
Well, it's nice if they offer a little bit, right? Like if they put their hand towards a bag or they like have some intention around it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bare minimum act.
How do you feel about guys that split the bill?
Obviously, that date didn't go well.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously. And then I feel like they're not valuing their time enough. They're going on too many random dates. They're not valuing their time. And if you're putting your time into a date, then plan it properly.
Yeah.
Nice. Put that effort in.
Paying for her to get her nails done.
Princess treatment.
Yeah, I'm going to say princess treatment.
You go princess. You know what I mean? If you're married, it's different.
You know what I mean? That's like me saying, can I have 20 quid? I got to get a fade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never would you do that. Yeah. Okay. Buys her a Gucci bag in the same month.
Gold digger. Princess treatment.
Princess treatment. That's true. Princess treatment. Nah, man. Expensive gifts is a red flag, I think. You're trying to buy the love.
Yeah, you're buying the love. But the thing is it her idea or his idea? If it's what she wants, definitely princess treatment. If it's him, he needs to sort his life out.
Yeah. Either way, no one should be getting a Gucci bag.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
I like that. Okay. Picking her up from her night out. Oh, it could go different ways, this one. What do you think? Bare minimum, or is that princess treatment?
In the 4 weeks, princess treatment.
Yeah?
There's Uber around.
What if he just wants her to be safe?
Yeah. Noble of him.
Noble.
But there's Ubers.
Yes.
Within 4 weeks. I think later on, then it's okay, but 4 weeks.
Could you imagine that rowdy car where they're all puking up?
Yeah.
Just driving
from everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. Oh, nice to meet you, friends. First time, yeah.
They're just judging you.
Yeah. They're like, hey, what are you going to do, my friend? Yeah.
What are your intentions?
Yeah. All right, funny pee.
Talking every day.
Bare minimum.
Yeah. You need communication. I agree with that one. 100%. Yeah. Okay. Always opening the door.
Bare minimum. Yeah.
Chivalry.
Yeah.
Chivalry's not dead, is it?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Bring it into the relationship.
I like that.
Treat them good.
Son, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on. So if someone's listening to this and they better be convinced you are the only way to find love, I'll be honest with you. In this day and age, people need you, man. So how can they find you? What are your socials, your handles?
Yeah, I'm most active on Instagram and it's sunny.lovecoach. And then from there, they have links to their website. You could book in coaching calls and to really connect and go deeper. And then we have the beautiful events and they're all around the world, Dubai, New York, London. And they can jump onto Eventbrite, grab a ticket and come meet us in real life. The retreats, it will be amazing to have them part of that as well.
Amazing. And your book, once again, is called
Awaken the Love Within.
Awaken the Love Within. And you can find that on Amazon.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Sunny, thank you so much for being on the Appauling Podcast. It's been a pleasure, brother.
Thank you so much, Sunny, for having me.
And you need to come back. Okay?
Yeah.
You need to come back because I want to know, how did that retreat go? I want to know how many of those people found love.
Yeah, we're going to give the update.
Okay, nice one. Anyone, if you've got any questions, because we're going to definitely get Sunny back, DM me. I'll save those questions for you, son. And what I actually might do is I might just send them your way. If there's anyone that's got a question,
yeah, please do.
Either send them to Sunny or send them to me. Sunny, nice one, brother.
Thank you, bro.